Hi students, welcome back again to this class which I left you in 9th and 10th aphorism. I just finished, so I left you with the 10th aphorism of vital force, that is vital force in health. Now in this today's class we will be discussing about vital force in disease. Of course, vital force in disease, aphorism 11 to 14, that is including 14. Now when I am teaching this aphorisms, of course the footnotes are very important. I will be taking them after I finish the section of vital force, that is from 9th to 19th aphorism. So all the footnotes will be still there, important questions are there, we are not neglecting them, but we are just withholding them for some time till we explain this. Okay. Why I told? Because aphorism 11th footnote is very important when you see an exam point of view or point of view of understanding homeopathy. But as of now I am focusing more on the vital force. So now let's go with aphorism 11, vital force and disease. What does it explain? Now aphorism 11 tells us that when any morbific agent, see this word morbific keeps on coming again and again. Morbific just means diseased agent. Okay. So any morbific agent or disease, when it acts upon our vital force by an influence called as dynamic influence on our body, then the vital force gets deranged. Now this deranged vital force, how is it expressed? It is expressed in the form of signs and symptoms which are observed by the physician, felt and observed by the patient himself. So this is what happens in our body when a morbific agent or a disease agent attacks our vital forces, get deranged and produces signs and symptoms. Okay. So now we go to aphorism 12. So what is aphorism 12? That is, how is the vital force recovers our health back. So this is our normal vital force. Okay. Now this vital force, when it gets deranged, so this is our deranged vital force. When the vital force gets deranged, what does it do? It produces signs and symptoms. Now, when you give medicines, of course homeopathic medicines, this deranged vital force starts getting better and the symptoms, signs and symptoms disappear and the deranged vital force turns to normal and health is recovered. You can explain it in diagram form or you can write it in the words. It's all up to you. This is for an easy understanding. Okay. So now we'll go to aphorism 13. Now in aphorism 13, it tells about allopaths, how they consider disease separate than the living whole. They consider disease different than the living whole or vital force. Disease is just something different. They believe in a materialistic cause. So, if this is the patient and these are the symptoms expressed by the patient, they are not bothered about this whole. They are just bothered about only the certain disease symptoms which belongs to their category or which they want to see. So, if a ENT doctor will just see what belongs to his sphere. So, they just treat a part. They don't see it's a living whole or it is a vital forces which derange, which brings on the signs and symptoms. That is allopathic point of view. Now, we will go to the 14th aphorism. Aphorism 14 is a very nice aphorism because in this one aphorism you can understand many things. In this aphorism, Hahnemann tells something which is very important, that is, all diseases which are curable produce signs and symptoms. Incurable disease do not produce signs and symptoms. This is a truth and the whole truth. Why I'll tell you? Because in my practice itself, I have seen this many times. How does a disease know, or how does a disease show that it has entered your body or you are sick? Is through signs and symptoms. So signs and symptoms is a cry of your body to please correct it and to recover your health and to bring back your health. But if there are no signs and symptoms, then the disease is working in an underground fashion. You would have seen like bank robbery or something where a plan is laid out and all of a sudden all of the money is gone. So diseases which are incurable, they work in that way. For example, the most common example, cancer. Now patients who have cancer, you would have heard it many times around you that this person, he expired. It is only, he was totally hale, hearty and healthy. And it's just that since 2 months back, all of a sudden he found out that he has got cancer and he expired. So diseases which are incurable have a way of acting on our body. They come with very, with not making any sound, without producing any signs and symptoms. And one fine day when you have the disease, it has spread or it has become so violent in nature that whole of your body has got affected by it. So curable diseases are always expressed by signs and symptoms, and incurable diseases do not produce signs and symptoms. So this is an important aphorism when related to telling about curable and incurable diseases, because as a disease belongs in this category, it becomes difficult for us to treat because signs and symptoms are not much seen. Only the diagnostic signs and symptoms are seen and the patient is already in the end stage. So thank you. That's for today. That is vital force and disease. See you again in the next class with more on vital force. Thank you.